out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box, knock him out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box, knock him out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box, knock him out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box. Who you know more realer, stories with more thriller. Spit real facts, who you know more chiller. Knock him out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box, knock him out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box. Once upon a time not long ago in the streets of Brooklyn, Glaze had him shookin'. If he liked what you had, God took it. Give me gangsta moves, ran with some gangsta dudes. You know I'm Brooklyn dude, straight take you fool. Me get that real 50 Cent, fat cat, pep. Had blocks on live, BGG, the movement. Here to make improvements. Knock him out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box, knock him out the box, Glaze. Knock him out the box.
Do you have any regrets from everything that you've done and been through and growing up and everything?
After 34 and a half years, almost 35 years, knowing that my daughter was 8 years old when I went to prison. And when I came home, she was 42 or 41, 42. What man wouldn't have regrets? My parents are older now. They're 87, 85. I could have lost them. I lost both my grandparents while I was locked up. They died when I was, both my grandparents on both sides of my family, maternal and paternal, both passed away while I was incarcerated. What man wouldn't have regrets? I wasted a lot of time in prison and lost family members. And not only that, I think back to when I was a kid, and I realized that I didn't have to do some of the things that I did. I didn't have to sell drugs. I didn't have to do a lot of things. I chose that lifestyle. But I looked at the neighborhood and I looked at people struggling, and I said, I'm not going to struggle like some of these people. I'm not going to struggle like my parents and them. But truthfully, the struggle is what defines you. My mother and father right now living excellently. They ain't never sold a drug in their life. Worked all their life. And they living excellently. And so, you know, as I think of it, man, there's so much you can do with your life, man. You don't have to go to the streets. You know what I mean? Now there's some people who had it harder than me. And you got people who the struggle for them is very hard. Some people ain't got food in their refrigerator. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You got some people who grandparents are taking care of them. You know what I mean? I don't want to knock nobody for what they do, for choosing to go into the street life. But I want to show them what you can sacrifice by making a bad decision or a bad choice. As far as me, there's a lot that I regret. And I don't want to spell everything out, you know what I'm saying? But of course I regret a lot of things. I have so much remorse in my heart for things. I just don't always speak about it. You know what I mean? Those are private moments that you keep within yourself. You know what I mean? But sometimes I wish I would have did like my brother and my brothers and my sister. You know, they living good too. They ain't never sold a drug in their life. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of choices you can make, and you just gotta find what you're good at. You gotta take your time in life and discover your greatness, because everybody got something in them that they can be great at. You just gotta find it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I have a lot of regrets. You know what I'm saying? But I'm home now, and I'm living a different lifestyle. So that's where I'm at with it. You know.
My mom used to tell me about the good old days. Gucci velour suits, nice cars and rope chains. A time in the place where everybody had a hustle. Some people had brains, some people had muscle. Some people had both, a dangerous combination. A couple steps ahead of any sticky situation. Know when to make the move and know when to stay and be patient. And just because you're flesh and blood doesn't make you related. She used to tell me a story about the amazing Glaze. Him and your pops was like brothers, but that nigga was...
We're probably the most ruthless and notorious cocaine crack enterprise in the city, that being Howard Happy Mason and Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols.
NYPD rookie police officer was murdered executioner style And as I'm listening, I'm like, whoa.
You actually dealt with Brian Glaze Gibbs, huh?
I dealt with him years ago, back in the 80s, early 90s. I was with he was arrested by my partner back in those days for several murders himself.
Not bad. I was given to me by a police officer in New York called Matt Byrne, whose son was gunned down by these drug dealers up there in New York City.
Glaze was probably within the top 10 people in the city, but I'm going to say that he was probably one of the top 2 or 3 in Brooklyn. Drug dealers, and controlled the drug organization.
And you know what I did? When I got the phone, I told my man, the next time we see him, he's out of here.
Yeah.
Less than 12 hours, that nigga was dead.
Yeah,
Is this the second person you murdered?
No. Because, like, right now, if you're going by the timeline, by that time, there's a few more before you.
You know, I heard so many good things about you. What I really like is, I know you're a tough guy. And I've known that for quite a while. And you changed your life, and you're coming around, and you're right. We're from New York. We're New Yorkers. No matter what color you are, no matter what religion you are, no matter what you are. You know, we're New Yorkers.
Well, he was a drug kingpin himself. He was a drug lord himself back in those days, and he operated out of Brooklyn and East New York, and you know, he committed a lot of violent acts himself. So, if anybody knows the streets, I mean, he knows the streets.
Tottenham.
Yeah, you gotta worry about them guys. But we only have to worry about those guys in Vanderveer and stuff. You know, we all knew Glaze and Tutton, all those guys.
Yeah.
I know Glaze, Supreme Team. What up, Glaze? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, inside the mind of Supreme McGriff. It was all a lie. They don't want you to transition. They want to keep you right where you're at.
Rapper 50 Cent was shot 9 times.
Speculation that the hit was ordered by Kenneth Supreme McGriff.
They made it up in order to be able to prosecute.
I remember talking to Brent. I don't know what you're doing. You're going to be on the front page of the paper.
Because I can't believe this nigga is firing a gun at a nigga over a fucking dispute about a check that I had nothing to do with.
A ruthless street empire.
What has become known as the Supreme Team.
All the sensational stories in the press.
Hey y'all, it's Miss T, best-selling author of my memoir, Harlem Heroin. When I wrote my first book, I didn't have a coach or a blueprint, and now I'm giving you what I wish I had. I created the Do-It-Yourself Author Toolkit, Write Your Book in 30 Days, for everybody who's sitting on a story, an idea, or a testimony. This toolkit is a digital product that will walk you step by step of how to write and self-publish your own book. I give you tips, timelines, and templates. It's all in there. I even give you daily affirmations. Now, who's going to give you that? My story took me from Harlem to the red carpet of Hollywood. Featured on BET. Then I was hired for projects on Netflix and the ID channel. Somebody needs to be inspired by you. Your story, your idea, or your poem needs to be written. All you need is this guy and me. Let's walk these red carpets together. This gem is priceless. Grab yours now.